Hey everyone, Techni here. It has been a long time since we've done a mouse review, right? I think the last time we done one was back when we were hunting for the perfect gaming mouse, right? So let's go on and review one. The one we have here is the SteelSeries Rival 600. Now I've had this mouse for a while now and I've been using it every day. I mean, I got my boxes all ripped up here. The mouse is gonna have fingerprints when I bring it in for the close-ups, right? It's not gonna look pretty because I've honestly been using the bananas out of this thing, right? Because I wanted to give you guys my honest opinion, not just, oh, I'm excited for this new mouse, right? Because honestly, my main concern with this mouse here when I was buying, or even now for you guys, is it worth $80? So anyways, let's go on and get into the mouse. First, what I'd like to do is I'm going to bring you in for some close-ups and actually show you the mouse. Then we'll go ahead and do a weight check, and then we'll look at the software on the PC, and then I'll be back with you. So we'll talk about some pros and cons and just kind of get our final conclusion of the SteelSeries Rival 600. Hey, I'll be right back with you. So as far as weight here, now this is bare bones. Again, you can put 4 weights on this side and 4 weights on that side. Each weight is 4 grams, and as you can see, we have none in there right now. We're at 3.55 ounces and 100 grams. You know, give or take a little bit of cord weight, but again, this is bare bones, no weights in there, and each weight is 4 grams, and you can fit 4 weights per side. Alright, so let's go and take a look at the SteelSeries software here. As you can see over here, you can set your configurations or profiles that you like per game or whatever you desire. You can adjust your buttons right over here on this side, or you can click on each icon within the mouse right here so you know exactly what you're customizing instead of just, you know, clicking on one of these. You also have a side view to do your side buttons right there. As you can see over here, I have this third button disabled, which you can do with whichever button you'd like. So that's pretty cool right there. Adjust your CPI over here. Then over here, you have your illumination to adjust all your RGB, and I think this is extremely cool. There's so much to adjust on this guy. As you can see right here, it's click on each one, or you can click this on show zones, and it's going to show you every single different option you have for RGB. So you can adjust this color, or that color, you know, so 3 different colors right here within this little side deal, and then your scroll wheel and your logo on the back. Super cool. So you can set it to steady, color shift, and again, you can pick whatever color you like. You don't have to use their presets. You know, you can adjust it to anything you desire. Where are we right here? Let me pick this. This is really cool here. So right now you can see I have a little cross up there. So I'm going to select all of them, right? So you can just select that if you'd like, or down to here, and then adjust whichever different zone you desire. But we're going to go ahead and select all of them, which is real cool, right? So we got it on color shift. So it'll cycle through them. And you can set it right here so it'll shift in to out, like in a circle zone, right? If you follow me. In here, it'll go out each way. And this way you can set it to, you can set your origin. So if you wanted to start from here, or start from the bottom, or start from the top, it's just so cool. There's so many different options to, you know, to set it on to your desire right there, which is, again, super cool. And then you have your speed over here. So as far as RGB, I mean, this thing wins. I mean, it is just awesome. There's so many different options you can do. You can set everything to a different color if you want, like starting here, you know, and have each different zone do whatever effect you want. So super cool as far as RGB. So after seeing those close-ups and everything like that, I mean, there's no doubting it. This thing is an absolute beaut. I mean, it looks good. The RGB is fantastic. It's vibrant. The little flow through the lines right there. It's just, it's smooth. It's probably some of the best RGB I've seen in a mouse. And then as far as customization of it, I mean, it is so cool that you can adjust the weights right there. I don't use any. It's right at 100 and it feels really, really nice without the weights in there. When I put the weights in there, it can get pretty lofty. And I'm the kind of person that really just can never find that perfect setting, you know? So if I put a weight in here, right, I'm putting it in the back. I'm like, it's a little too heavy in the back. Let me put it in front. Man, it's a little too heavy in the front. Let me put it in the middle, you know? And then it's just, I just can never find a happy medium, right? So I just take them out and it's very comfortable and it plays great without the weights. And now without the weights, what were we at? Right at 100, right? So that's a little heavier than some of the other mice out there. And me personally, I really like my mice being right at 100 grams, right? It just makes it feel a little more durable and you actually have a solid product in your hands rather than this real light, puny thing. I don't know. That's me personally. Everyone's going to be different, but I like my mice to have a little bit of weight. Now I did this kind of backwards, usually how I usually go about it, right? I talked about that RGB first because obviously, I mean, you're paying for the RGB here, right? But let's get to what's most important, comfort, right? And let me tell you, this guy is so cozy in the hands. It is just super smooth. Like when I bought this thing, I honestly thought that these grooves right here would be annoying and I'd feel them on the back of my hand. But I never do. I never feel them. My palm sits back here and then I rest up on the side and I never ever feel those lines right there. So that definitely got squashed. And let me bring you in to show you. You guys see the side grips right there? Super smooth. Same on the other side. I mean, it is just, wow. I mean, it just feels really, really nice in the hands. Again, a lot of mice have texture side grips, which some of the ones that I've used with texture side grips, I really don't like because when I get gaming, sometimes I get in a heated moment, I'm grabbing the bananas out of this mouse, you know? And this is, as far as side grips, this has to be the best I've ever tested. It is just, it feels smooth. It's not soft. It's not mushy by any means, you know? But it just feels very nice in the fingers. I don't get any of those grips punching into my fingers or anything like that. So super duper cozy. Now what I'd like to show you next, and I'm going to bring you in to show you this too, but the USB cord, it does disconnect from the front. So, you know, but it's in there very tight. It actually has some grips in there. So if it's, like, you can pretty much hang it from it and it's not going to go anywhere. So it's in there pretty dang tight. But what I wanted to show you, what I was just talking about, and this was pretty weird. When I first took it out of the box, this was kind of like a red flag to me almost. Let me show you guys here. Do you guys see the buttons right there? You have that big gap. So they kind of point off the end right there. If you guys can tell, I know it's really hard to see. But anyways, they come off the end right there. So I'm like, shoot, man. And when I press these, are they just going to kind of flex down? And they honestly don't. The buttons are pretty thick and very solid plastic. It's not flimsy plastic by any means. And that goes for the side buttons and the scroll wheel as well. Let me show you these side buttons here. You see how they look pretty small right there? And yeah, you do have 3 of them. That was one of my worries with this mouse, that the side buttons would be a little bit too small, because I'm used to using mice with really big side buttons, and I honestly really like those. I can really decipher which one's which, you know, but honestly, I got really used to this. Every now and then I get an accidental press. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, maybe it's just my old chunky thumb here, you know. But every now and then I get an accidental press. But it's very nice. And they press very... Let me show... So it's not much press. It's very nice there. But yes, they are a little bit small. But it's not like deal-breaking small. You know, you do get used to them. As far as the third button, I never use it. I almost put it there, and it almost serves as like a thumb rest for me to prevent my thumb from sliding up further, you know? And the scroll wheel as well. It's just very nice. Let me... So you have the clicks and everything, but it's not like overdone. It's very soft on the top. Let me show you right here. Super smooth, very, very low profile, so you don't have to lift your finger up super far. You can kind of slide it right over onto it, and again, it just feels very good. The one button with the downfall is the DPI button. You've probably noticed it already, but look how far that thing sticks up, right? Let me show you from this angle. Maybe you can see better. Like, it is just, there you go. You see how it sticks up? Many of the other mice I've used, I think all the mice I've ever used, none of them have stuck up like this. I don't ever accidentally press it, you know, but you feel it. And that brings me right into the next point I want to make. As far as the buttons, let me see if you guys can hear this. I doubt you can, but the only way you really be able to tell with this mouse is when you get it in your hands, right? Most mice, it's just like a very soft press right there. But this one, like, it goes down and then clicks. I know that's not making sense, and it's really, I'm trying to think of what I can compare it to. but you press it down and then it clicks. When most mice, it's just like a very nice, soft, instant press. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I think that's really a personal preference thing, right? You're gonna really feel and decipher your clicks rather than getting an accidental press in there, right? So I don't want to put that as a good thing or a bad thing. I want to put that as a personal preference, right? Because at first when I started using it, I was like, man, I don't like this, you know? But now that I've been using it every day, it's just, I don't even notice it, but it is there. So just keep that in mind. Now I do want to talk about 2 downfalls about this mouse. Number 1, let me bring it in to see if you guys can see here. You guys see how that's glossy plastic here, and right here you have that soft touch matte black. I don't know if you guys can see the smudges. There you go. You can see right there, right? And then especially up on the front, there you go. You can see that perfect. See my finger marks right there? And that's going to be with any product. Same with the SteelSeries headset we reviewed, right? It has that soft matte finish, which, I mean, it looks cool, but I personally don't like it because it makes your product look used after a while. Actually, pretty quickly it looks used, you know? So again, I just don't like that, you know? I don't know, you get a very nice grip and a very cozy feel of it. Like, it feels great in the hands. I mean, hands down, but hands, there's too many hands right there, huh? So honestly, as far as those smudges, like the ones on the back, I can just kind of rub off, but since your fingers are always up here, you know, pressing the down on the front ones, I can't get them off there. They're always there. So that's kind of a disappointment to me. I like the mouse. I love the mouse. It's a fantastic mouse. Is it worth $80? Sure, I'd say yeah, it's worth $80 if you're into that fluff, right? I doubt you'll even use these weights, you know what I mean? But if you do, it's there. If you're a big RGB fan, it's there, you know, and if you're willing to pay for that RGB, sure, then it's worth it. It's a personal preference mouse. That's how I'd like to put it, right? If you like that RGB and all that stuff, it's personal preference. If you're willing to spend that 80 bucks for this extra fluff, then all day long, you're getting a fantastic product, you know? But again, in my opinion, I don't like buying fluff again, so you just kind of take it there. It's a personal preference mouse, and that's where I'm going to class this. But hey, let me know down in the comments, do you use the Rival 600? What do you think about it? Again, I absolutely love this mouse. Again, it's just that price, paying for the fluff that just throws me off with this guy. I love it though, but let me know in the comments. Are you gonna pick this up, or do you already have it, and what do you think about it as well? But hey, thank you so much for watching this one. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. And I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.